Government committed to regional radio stations. Opposition to launch public campaign to get more persons vaccinated. 2 friends dead, 1 critical in TIMEHRI public road accident. In the region, Brazilian president leads motorcade of thousands of supporters. And internationally, the world reacts to plane hijacking, arrest of journalists. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister retired Brigadier Mark Phillips said that his government is committed to maintaining and establishing regional radio stations. While speaking as a special guest on Radio Letem 95.1 FM on Saturday, Phillips said that regional radio stations are important since they help to disseminate information to Guyanese living in remote areas. Quote, "We are happy to inherit this program, and as we promised, we are committed to spreading this program of having regional stations in all the regions in Guyana." End of quote. The Prime Minister's visit coincided with the 5th anniversary of the radio station in Letem. The Prime Minister further pointed out the importance of the medium, saying, quote, "This is a program we will continue to support because we want to reach all the people in Guyana so we can continue to get our messages out, especially messages about the development activities that are planned by central government, regional government, and even the municipalities." 2 friends lost their lives and another is in critical condition following an accident on the TIMEHRI public road. Here now is Esther Sobers with more.
An accident on Saturday evening on the TIMEHRI public road, East Bangdanrara, has left 2 friends dead and another in a critical condition. Dead is 24-year-old Pascal Dainty of Unity Place Festival City, North Rumpel, Georgetown, and 32-year-old Delon Whitehead of William Street, Kitty, Georgetown. 25-year-old Michael Kendall of Block X G Diamond East Bangdanrara is nursing injuries. According to the police reports, Dainty was driving PXX 5192 while Whitehead and Kendall were passengers in the vehicle. The report further stated around 8:30 p.m. Dainty, who was driving above the speed limit, lost control of the vehicle which ran off the road and collided with 2 electrical poles, flipping several times before crashing into a concrete fence. As a result of the collision, extensive damage was done to the car, fence, and electrical poles, whilst Dainty and his friends sustained severe injuries. They were all picked up in an unconscious state and taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where Dainty and Whitehead were pronounced dead. Kendall was admitted to the intensive care unit. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. As Guyana's COVID-19 death toll continues to rise, 4 persons succumbed in the last week, taking the country's death total to 359. On Sunday, the Ministry of Health reported that the latest victims were admitted with COVID-19-like symptoms but died while receiving care at its medical institutions. Samples were taken from the victims at the time of admission and those returned positive tests. The victims are a 73-year-old man from Region 5, along with 3 women, a 70-year-old from Region 3, a 42-year-old from Region 5, and a 77-year-old from Region 6. The latest deaths mean that 60 persons have succumbed to the disease this month so far, making it the 2nd deadliest month since the pandemic struck in March of 2020. Last month, 66 persons died. Meanwhile, another 116 persons tested positive for the coronavirus over the last 24 hours, taking Guyana's overall case to 16,130. If anyone is displaying any of the symptoms associated with the COVID-19 or needs any additional information, kindly contact the COVID-19 hotline on 231-1166 or their website on www.health.gov.gy. Stick around, we've got more news for you after the break.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. On Sunday night, a businessman of Friendship Quarantine Berbice was robbed of over $1.3 million in cash and valuables by three armed men. The police said the incident occurred just after 8 p.m. while the 57-year-old businessman and a 23-year-old female were at his home. The victims were in their hammocks when the three men, armed with handguns and wearing black clothing and fully masked, held them at gunpoint and demanded cash and all of their valuables. They took them to the upper flat of the building and tied them up and dealt the businessman a cuff to his left eye, causing injuries. The three gunmen relieved the victims of cash, jewelry, and one cell phone. Along with the cash and valuables, the gunmen also made good their escape with 30 registrations for cars, tractors, and combines belonging to both victims. Police are investigating a tragic accident that occurred on the Linden Suicide Highway last evening. Here is more from Esther Sophus.
3 persons are now dead and 2 injured after a driver lost control and collided with them at the Caruni Public Road Linden Suicide Highway. According to reports, at about 9:30 p.m., 39-year-old Kevin Bissett, a firefighter of Rainbow City, Mackenzie, was speeding when he lost control of his motor vehicle PH86628. The car hit the curb before plowing into a group of persons who were sitting on the curb of the road, a common practice for residents that live along the Linden Suicide Highway. Dead are 87-year-old Antonio Henry, 40-year-old Melina Emmanuel, and 8-year-old Casey Jerome, all of Caruni Village, Suicide Linden Highway. Those injured are 50-year-old Rodwell Jerome, who is under observation at the Mackenzie Hospital, and 8-year-old Alina Prasad, who was transferred to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where she is in intensive care unit. Bizet has since been served with a notice of intended prosecution. A breathalyzer test showed that he did not consume any alcohol. Police investigations are ongoing. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Opposition leader Joseph Harman is encouraging citizens to get vaccinated. The opposition, APNUAFC, while calling on the government to do a better job at implementing systems to curb the spread of COVID-19, has launched a public campaign to encourage citizens to get their vaccines. Over the weekend, Joseph Harman and some members of Parliament, along with Region 4's chairman, released many public service announcements for TV and radio to encourage citizens to get vaccinated. The opposition leader said this week the APNU-AFC will be rolling out several activities across the country as part of its increased efforts to help in the fight against COVID-19. Mr. Harmon Fordo stated that Guyanese need to come together to protect themselves and their loved ones. Quote, "None of us is protected unless all of us are protected." Region 4 Chairman Daniel Seram said the coalition will continue to host vaccination drives in communities across the regions which might have been overlooked. He said, quote, "I would like to urge every Guyanese, every citizen everywhere to get vaccinated. The COVID-19 vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID. They do not cure you. But if you have the vaccine, what the vaccine does is boosts your immune system and help you to have mild effects if it is that you contract the virus and lessens your chances of dying from COVID." End of quote. The regional chairman also says it is important for persons to continue following the COVID-19 national guidelines. Region 4 continues to lead the country in new infections and deaths. Don't go away. After the break, we have your regional and international news.
Girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Oh gosh, what's this? Me son can't read or spell. Stop! 0 out of 20. Is what I could do here.
Hi guys, my name is Ms. Singh and I'm the senior teacher at HIJACKING after school program. Due to the spread of the coronavirus and the need for social distancing, we have moved our in-class learning activities to online via Skype. On the online side, we will be focusing on spelling, phonics, reading, and the National Grade 6 assessments. For more information, you can inbox us or call us.
Contact us on 675-4379. I can call them now. Hidden Treasures, discovering gems in young minds.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Alabama Trading has everything you need every day. The best brands at the lowest prices. And right now, you can save much more on a larger range of food products and everyday essentials. Choose from our extensive array of fresh and packaged food items. Plus, there's a huge variety in ladies' handbags and accessories, children toys, backpacks and school bags, bicycles, rugs, outdoor and indoor furniture, cleaning and sanitizing products, and so much more. Alabama Trading. Better products, better prices.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro has led a motorbike procession through Rio de Janeiro to show he still has the support of the people. That is despite facing increasing political pressure and a probe investigating the government's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannick reports.
The sirens signaled President Jair Bolsonaro was in town for a ride through Rio de Janeiro, surrounded by thousands of motorcyclists and cheered by crowds, many wearing the Brazilian flag, but no mask, like the president himself. Some came out to protest against the leader who had downplayed the coronavirus pandemic from the start and still scorns public health measures in a country with the world's second largest COVID-19 death toll.
It's unbelievable. The president is breaking the law and causing agglomerations. What are the people celebrating? The 450,000 dead by COVID, the lack of vaccines, the hunger, or the parliamentary inquiry that's showing Brazil and the world how this government has mishandled the pandemic?
Brazil's Senate is investigating the government's delay in buying vaccines and the lack of a national plan to stop infections from spreading at alarming rates. The president has always spoken against lockdowns and curfews. But since the probe began, Bolsonaro's popularity has taken a toll. Recent polls say he would lose next year's presidential election to former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva.
Pollsters say Bolsonaro is dead, but we want to show people that he is very much alive and has millions of supporters. That is why we organized this rally. Nobody believed Bolsonaro would win the 2018 elections, but contrary to what the polls said, he won.
The organizers of this rally say they are already planning other motorcycle rallies throughout Brazil. The next one, they say, will be in the city of São Paulo. Bolsonaro may be on an early campaign trail, but the political scenario in Brazil has changed with Lula's comeback. In early March, the Supreme Court overturned his corruption conviction, which stopped him from standing in the 2018 elections. Now Lula is negotiating with the opposition leaders a united front to defeat Bolsonaro. Monica Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
And internationally, young people in Ghana are facing rising unemployment. Even highly qualified graduates have difficulty finding work. Critics of the government have taken their protests online under the hashtag #FixTheCountry. Al Jazeera's Eve Atibuka reports.
Morisaki graduated with a degree in economics 3 years ago, but it's been no help in finding a job. He gets by selling soap, earning $10 a day to support himself, his mother, and 2 brothers.
Someone has to know you before you get a job. And that is a corrupt system. It means people are getting jobs on affiliation, not on merit. So if this is what is going on, how can the country move forward?
Youth unemployment is one of Africa's biggest challenges. In Ghana, it's getting worse, nearly 10% at the moment, and the World Bank predicts it will hit 12%. Young people are channeling their frustration into mass action. Police so far have stopped their rallies, but not their momentum.
Critics of the government have taken their protest online under the hashtag #FixTheCountry. It's Ghana's biggest online movement so far. Thousands have joined in recent days, and more are rallying to the cause, especially young people.
Their grievances include challenges from job to fuel prices and erratic water supplies to poor healthcare and corruption.
Our biggest problem is corruption by government officials. Some people have been caught red-handed and others, and it seems the government don't care about it.
The government says it's to spend $200 million to encourage the private sector to hire more young people.
We are fast-tracking the implementation of the $200 million Jobs and Skills Program and Economic Transformation Program to enhance job creation significantly.
As an opposition leader, Nana Akufo-Addo frequently called for protest. Now, in his second term as president, he is calling for patience. But many people say they have waited long enough. Eva Atibuka, Al Jazeera, Ghana.
And finally, leaders across Europe are accusing Belarus of hijacking and piracy after the forced landing of a passenger jet. They are calling for sanctions after Belarus compelled the plane to land in Minsk so they could arrest Belarusian journalists. Al Jazeera has more.
The interception of Ryanair Flight 4978 is now a full-blown international diplomatic crisis. Belarus state media says President Lukashenko personally ordered a military jet to escort the passenger plane away from its scheduled route and divert it to Minsk. It's an act which European leaders have branded state-sponsored piracy, and there is now intense pressure for a stern response. Flight tracker sites showed the Ryanair flight from Athens to Vilnius change course just 2 minutes from the Lithuanian border. Belarus Air Traffic Control had flagged a supposed bomb alert to the aircraft, then scrambled a fighter jet to make doubly sure the plane came to Minsk. The target of the extraordinary intervention was this man, Roman Protasevich, an opposition journalist and blogger who fled Belarus after President Lukashenko claimed victory in last August's disputed election. Fellow passengers on the plane say he reacted to the interception first with disbelief and then resignation.
1 minute he was like trying to negotiate with the steward, but nothing to do. But after that, I didn't find him scared or angry or something like that.
The incident will dominate the summit of European leaders gathering in Brussels later on Monday. NATO will consider its response when it meets on Tuesday. There are demands for yet more sanctions against Lukashenko and his closest officials, as well as calls to suspend all transit from Belarus into the EU.
Lukashenko is sort of testing the tolerance of the EU, showing that he can get along with, even at the background of estranged relations with the West and being under sanctions and condemnation, and his legitimacy is not recognized by EU leadership. He can still make these powerful moves, prosecute his opponents, even those who managed to escape Belarus.
Alexander Lukashenko has been Belarus president since 1994, a leader described in some quarters as Europe's last dictator, and a man who has a record of harshly repressing dissent, but he is strongly supported by his ally Russia.
He is playing his trump card, saying that we, together with Russia, are against the West, against hypocrisy and imperialism, and that's what he's playing. And he is playing this card in order to ensure Russian support, Russian money, and Russian influence in light of very mild and very appeasing sanctions of European Union and America.
It's now known that 125 passengers departed from Athens and only 121 arrived in Vilnius, lending credence to reports that Protasevich had been followed onto the plane by Belarus intelligence agents. The mid-air interception is looking less and less like an opportunistic act and more like a planned and coordinated snatch operation. And the dilemma for the West is how to respond to that. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera.
That is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. And that is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.